Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we will try to understand the identification points to see the prominence of sun in someone's life. So guys, you must have understood the whole objective of this playlist. In this playlist, we are not trying to understand the vibrations of sun from astrology point of view. We are just trying to see those prominence of that planetary vibration in the real life events, in the real-time relationship and accomplishments of a native. So definitely all those people who have got some familiarity with astrology, so you must know this thing that for sun to be categorized or called as prominent in someone's life, so the native has to be born on 1st of any month, 10th of any month, or 19th of any month, or 28th of any month, because from numerology, number 1 represents the energy of planet sun. And just because sun has got the rulership over Leo sign, so if you will find that your ascendant sign is Leo, your moon sign is Leo, sun is placed in your first house, or it is conjunct with your ascendant lord, or your important planets are placed in the nakshatra of the sun, Kritika, Uttra Falguni, Uttra Shadha, then we can say this thing that sun is strong in the life of this person. But if you do not have any access to someone's birth details, just observing someone's life, what could be the signs to look at? This is something which we will try to understand in this video. So okay guys, to start with, now when we talk about sun, so what is the first thing which comes to your mind? So I'm very much sure that sun, which is considered as the king amongst the planets, the one thing which comes to everyone's mind is sun represents fame. Sun represents honor and dignity. So you're very much right in that regard. And definitely guys, the good part about the prominence of sun is that these people tend to remain very lucky in becoming a part of that inner circle in any given field. Like when it comes down to remaining lucky in receiving the favors from people connected with politics, people connected with government. So these people with a prominence of sun in their life, they do very good in that. Like if you will go by the dictums of the Lal Kitab, over there it has been mentioned to such an extent that those natives who are born with sun in their first house, 5th house, 9th house, so even at the time when the soul enters the womb of the mother, so the whole family starts seeing the or experiencing the good results of a prominent sun in the life of the whole family members. So okay guys, now we will shift our discussion to understanding the identification points. So the point number 1 is, if you will find sun to be prominent or vibration of sun prominent in someone's life, the prospects of recognition and fame will be very strong in the life of that person. Now no matter which field this person belongs to. Now if you talk about politics, you talk about performing arts, you talk about art, literature, any field, like recognition and fame is something which is always connected with the planet sun. Now guys, over here I want to make it very clear, because whenever we talk about fame, so a couple of things which comes to everyone's mind. A lot many people get confused with international fame which can come through Rahu. So try to understand this thing. Rahu does not have got a physical body. In lot many cases, Rahu just represents curiosity, it represents illusion, or it can create a sudden hype around you. Now the only thing is that when we talk about success which comes through Rahu, that has to be, and that is always well supported by the contribution coming in from other yogas in the chart, from the other planets. Stand alone, Rahu does not hold this capacity to give you a lasting fame. So that is something which can be connected with Rahu. Now when we talk about Saturn, Saturn is different. Saturn gives you kind of respect in the society, and that is something which is earned through your karmas, through your efforts. But when we talk about sun, so now very soon you will get to know that this could be due to a birthright, this could be due to your strong connections. So because of which one thing is for sure, that if someone is very well known in the society, in the community, or someone is very established in his given field and people know him for good reasons, so that can be connected with the prominence of sun in the life of that person. Now definitely guys, if the good aspect is that someone is very famous for all sort of right reasons, so also when we talk about specific yogas of defamation or entanglement in scandals, so that is also connected with the afflicted side of the planet sun as well. Now friends, identification point number 2 is monitoring the influence of people in our life which represents the energy or vibration of that planet. So that's very simple. Sun, which represents father, and trust me guys, a lot many times when couples are going through any of the child related custody dispute, and the moment you open up the chart of the child, you can fairly get this idea that whether the mother's influence is positive, supporting in the life of this kid, or the father's influence is strong or positive, because mother's influence can be studied through the placement of moon, and father's influence can be studied through the placement and dignity of the sun in the chart. So what kind of relationship you have with your father? Are you kind of person who has acquired business or some sort of big legacy from your father? Now this could be certain rights which you get right because of your birth. So all those can be attached with the influence of sun or the prominence of the sun in the life of someone. After that guys, what kind of relationship a native is going to be holding with the authority figures? Now guys, these days, because there is a provision of with this culture of multinational companies, freelance work, being self-employed, so we have got lot of moving around space. But imagine the state of those people who are in a federal government job. So right at the time when you joined a department, you have to be in this same position, not same position, I mean to say in the same department for the rest of your life, or till the time you do not retire from your services. So that means being in a specific department for 30-40 years, and how you get along with your bosses is going to have a major say in your career growth. So because of which the kind of relationship a native holds with his kind of bosses or with the authority figures reflect the qualities of the sun in the life of that native. So that's very simple. If you will come across someone who has always been a favorite of his bosses, he remains very lucky in receiving the favors or kind of privileges from the authority figures, from his bosses, from the people connected with the government. So that in itself represents that the energy of sun is working out very strong in the life of this person. Now guys, identification point number 3 is about aura and vitality. So guys, although I have made a separate video on this topic of aura, that which all are the contributions which determines someone's aura, you can watch that video. But before I will jump to the point, let me give you some background of it, because definitely here we are talking about a planet which can contribute towards world fame, and with world fame comes all sort of opinion, all sort of criticism, all sort of hate towards you. So how you manage that? In order to do that, you need to have a strong sun, in order to have that strong defense mechanism, strong vitality, or strong aura. So like the way I was talking about that, okay, in my family, my sister, she is a professional Reiki healer. A lot of her clients they get her Reiki healing session online, and it's a distance format, but they receive that positivity after getting a session from her. Same is the case, like whenever I find myself vulnerable and prone towards stress or any accident sort of situation, so I always ensure to call my mom and get a Rudrabhishek done during those times, or get a chola at Lord Hanuman's temple, and immediate after that I kind of sense that positivity around me, or a defense mechanism around me. So same way guys, when we talk about politicians, when we talk about these top athletes, so if you are a politician, let's take up the case of some extreme names where the world is divided in extreme opinion. Like where you will either find someone who either hate this person or is a die-hard fan. So from India, we can take up the case of our very kind of likable leader Narendra Modi. We can take up the case of Donald Trump. We can take up the case of Russian president as well. So these are certain cases, guys. Like if I were to share the very basic small example, when in India they came up with a drive to cut down on the corruption, and there were so many objectives and reasons that they overnight and suddenly they cancelled or removed one specific denomination of currency from Indian market. Now that was a time when a digital currency was not that popular. People were not familiar with that, and you know that in India, which has got a huge population, and we are about to become the number one population of the world. I guess we are very close to China in those numbers. So a lot many transactions on daily basis gets conducted on cash only. So when this drive was announced and there was one person facing the media, facing the masses, so imagine how much of the criticism or hate would have got directed towards this person. Same is the case when we are taking up this or observing this Russia-Ukraine crisis situation, war situation. So you can fairly understand how many people on both the sides must be directing their cursors, their hate, their aggression towards the people who are the front face. Or let's take up the case of the like the recently there is this World Cup which is taking place of football. So over there as well, so whichever country or whichever side wins, or the guy who is responsible for the win, or the guy who is responsible for the loss, so much of the hate and energy goes directed towards these people. So what matters is that if your sun is not going to be strong in the chart, you will not be able to handle that surge of energy which will come directed at you. That is the only reason, guys. All those people who are in the top of their game, they are maintaining that reputation, doing a good job, and all the criticism which gets directed towards them, it does not deflect them for performing their duties with expertise. Now again, there are certain professions, like when we talk about actors or musicians. In their case, you will find people either they love their favorite actors, or they will not. If someone is not very much fond of any specific actor, he will not pay much heed to them. But when we talk about these kind of competitive sports, or we talk about politics, so for someone to be in that position to handle all that surge of energy coming towards them, you need to have a strong aura, and you need to have a very strong sun as a defense mechanism to handle that. So that is also which we see from the sun's dignity, that if you will find someone very strongly rooted, even in the face of any criticism, maintaining his dignity, not losing out his temper or lashing out on media, on people, then you can fairly see this as the prominence of sun in the life or in the personality of this person. After that, guys, there is one more point or identification point, which is of the originality. Now try to understand this thing. Here we are not talking about copy and paste. All those people who have done something exceptional and very original in their chosen field, that is always considered as or attached with the prominence of sun in their life. Because guys, like even if you want to understand it from astrology point of view as well, so all the planets reflect the light which they originally receive from the sun. It's the sun only who is the original creator of light. So because of which, the prime sign of seeing the prominence of sun in someone's life is this person is going to be very well known, very respected, and he could be first in his that given field. This could be a prime identification of the sun in the life of that person. After that, guys, definitely next identification point is connected profession and career. So if you will find someone who is majorly getting benefited because of his connections with the people connected with government, or he works as a contractor for the government, or people who are in federal government job. So that is also connected or seen as the prominence of sun in the life of that person. Like the way guys, like even in India today as well, where there is a lot of provision of doing a MNC multinational job, or doing some digital marketing work, or working freelance, still getting a government job is a big thing. You get that safety, security for life, and a lot many people appear or they compete for limited seats every year in India. So because of which, unless and until sun energy is not strong, not prominent in your case, in your life, you might not be able to land at this coveted government job or clear the government job exam. And all those people who not only remain lucky in finding a government job, or they grow and reach top positions, that is also determined by the prominence of the sun in the life of someone. Now friends, identification point number 6 is birthright and entitlement. Like all those scenarios where someone remained lucky in gaining access to power, to authority, to opportunity, only because the family in which this person is born, or the kind of a legacy he has received from his family. So that can be straight away attributed to the prominence of the sun. Now it is getting applicable in all spheres of life, whether you talk about sports, you talk about politics, you talk about film business. So we keep on coming across all those scenarios where people are struggling so much, irrespective of having all sort of talents with them. And there are those cases where just because of the family name, these people have got the access to the inner circle. Now that is a different case, that in order for that person as well, in order to retain that success, there has to be other factors. But just because of the prominence of that family name which is shining with you, that can be seen as the prominence of sun in the life of that person. And friends, the last identification point is monitoring the planetary maturity and the concurrent events which has taken place in the life of that person. So definitely guys, sun matures at 21st year of age, and this is actually a time when someone has completed his education. In lot many countries, this is the age where the government and the country starts treating you as an adult as well. So because of which, this is a prime time when, if you will find sun to be prominent in the chart of someone, so in a country where landing at a government job is your dream, you can get that. Or if you are in some royal family, or you are in some influential family and you're looking forward to a proper launch pad for your career, so this can take place at that time as well. The good part over here is that guys, in a way, sun represents our identity. So if you will find sun to be prominent in the life of someone, solar energy to be working in a very influential way, so specific to this age, you will definitely see that either native will achieve something exceptional which will suddenly make him famous, or because of the support of his family name, he might remain lucky in landing at some lucrative opportunity which will carve the path of the life of this person. So this is something guys which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyawad.